Last week, the NHL held their scouting combine for the draft-eligible players for the upcoming 2025 draft. It was a week of interviewing players, dinners, fitness tests, and if you're the New York Islanders, letting the presumptive number one pick pay for dinner? Weirdos. The Flyers were obviously present, seeing as they have 7 picks in the top 48 picks of the draft, and thanks to 2 Flyers reporters who were on hand at the Combine, we have a good idea of which players the Flyers spoke to. Jackie Spiegel of the Inquirer tweeted out this list, and Russ Cohen of Sportsology published this article to give us a pretty comprehensive list between both reporters. That said, the Flyers have been known to work in secret, so it wouldn't at all be a surprise if they spoke to more than the names we'll go through. I'm going to go through this list and bunch the players together based on the picks the Flyers have at the moment. 2 quick things before I break down the list. BSH and PHLY are having a draft party at Chicky and Pete's near the stadiums on the first night of the draft, which is June 27th. It's $5 to get in the door because last year we had too many people. Rest assured that all of the ticket sales this year will go directly to Snyder Hockey. Come on out, it's always a great time. Second thing, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It helps us in a big way to keep providing you coverage. Thank you. Back to the list. So first up, here are the players the Flyers met with that might be a fit for the 6th overall pick. A couple notes first. The position next to their name, I took those directly from the NHL Central Scouting lists, and I also included 4 draft rankings from 4 different lists, as you'll see here. First is Corey Pronman's list of The Athletic. He released this list today, Tuesday, June 10th. You'll see the little P next to The Athletic logo. Next is Scott Wheeler's list, also of The Athletic. His rankings have the little W next to The Athletic logo. His list is also from this week. Next is Elite Prospects, and these rankings are from their final draft guide, which was released last week. And finally, the TSN rankings are from Bob McKenzie's mid-season ranking back in January. This one's a little out of date, but Bobby Marks doesn't put his final list out until right before the draft. Okay, the list of players the Flyers met with that could potentially be taken at 6th overall. The Flyers met with center Michael Misa, but it would be insane if he drops past the number 2 pick. James Hagens, another center. He came into the year as the presumptive number 1 overall pick, but there's a real chance he could fall to the Flyers at 6. He measured in at 5'10.5" at the Combine, but is sturdy, 186 pounds. Next, right winger Porter Martone. The little icon here next to his name means the Flyers took him out to dinner at the Combine. This is ridiculous that they were tracking this, but about Martone as a player, he's big and he's a great playmaker. Next is another center, Caleb Desnoyers. We already have his older brother Elliot in our system already. Caleb, as a player, he does everything well, but there's questions about whether any of his tools are elite. Also, Anton Frondell. Frondel's got a great shot, and he's already pretty built, having played in a league against men all season. On to a few more. The Flyers also met with gigantic center Roger McQueen. The big thing with McQueen is he missed a lot of the year with a back issue, but at the Combine, he participated in the fitness tests, and judging by the rankings of Pronman and Wheeler, which both came out after the Combine, his ranking is a bit higher than before the Combine, so I have to wonder if his back looks better than expected. Finally, we rounded out with skilled Swedish winger Victor Eklund, and another dinner date, playmaking center Jake O'Brien. Something worth noting with O'Brien is that his juniors coach, Jay McKee, is an ex-teammate of Danny Briere's, and McKee also interviewed for the Flyers' head coaching position this summer. You have to think that the Flyers have a lot of intel on this kid. We have a shift-by-shift watch-along for Jake O'Brien on our YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, just head to our playlists and look for our shift-by-shift playlist, and you'll find it in there. That does it for the players ranked in the realm of the 6th pick. Next up are some players who are mostly ranked in the teens of the first round, but because the Flyers have so much ammunition in terms of draft capital, these players could potentially be trade-up options if the Flyers really like any of them. Here we have the first defenseman of the bunch, lefty D-man Jackson Smith. We also did a shift-by-shift watch-along for Jackson Smith just the other day, so check that out as well. Then another dinner recipient, center Brady Martin. Martin is a guy who hits a ton, and he's tempting a lot of teams who are dreaming for a playoff performer like Sam Bennett. There's a chance Utah could take him as high as number 4 overall, but it sounds like a lot of people worry he isn't dynamic enough to take in the top 10. And third player in a row we've done a shift by shift for, Brady Martin's, also up on our YouTube channel. Then another defenseman, righty Radim Murtka, who is almost 6'6", winger Carter Bear, who plays with physicality and has some puck skills, another winger Justin Carbonneau, who is also physical, skilled, and has a great shot, and finally another defenseman, Kashawn Aitchison, who plays a nasty game but has some hockey sense questions. He's been compared to a more skilled version of players like Jacob Trouba or Radko Gudas. This next group of players could all be fits for the Flyers' next first-round pick. It's slated to be number 22 in the first round, which they got last year from Colorado in the Sean Walker trade. First up, there's center Cole Reshny, who's a little smaller, but has top six potential and a well-rounded game. Next, winger Malcolm Spence. He works hard, but might lack high-end skill. Defenseman Blake Fiddler, who is the son of former NHLer Vern Fiddler. Defenseman Cameron Reed, who's just under 6 foot, but skates really well. Then there's Cullen Potter, who is small, but might be the best skater in the draft. The Flyers probably saw him a good amount this year, seeing as Potter and the recently signed Ty Murchison both played for Arizona State this season. And then two more on the next page, center Ben Kindle. He's 5'10", but has just about every tool in the toolbox. And then the first goalie expected to go in the draft, Joshua Ravensbergen. Moving on, there's three more guys the Flyers met with who rank around 31 or 32 on these four lists, which is where the Flyers' final first-round pick is, depending on whether Edmonton wins or loses the cup. First, we've got defenseman Sasha Boumedian, who's a Finnish-born Swedish defenseman. He played this year at Boston University as a 17-year-old. Purely on paper, that screams Flyers. You've got winger Jack Murtagh, and center William Moore, who is over 6'2", but had an inconsistent season coming into the draft. And then finally, a list of 10 players that the Flyers could end up picking with any of their second-round picks. Currently, the Flyers' second-round picks are slotted at 36, 40, 45, and 48. First is Shane Van Sage. The interesting thing about Van Sage is that he registered the highest grip strength at this year's Combine. In the last two drafts, the Flyers have taken the player with the highest grip strength. Back in 2023, it was Matteo Mann, who the Flyers selected in the 7th round, and last year it was Jet Lachenko who had the highest grip strength, and the Flyers took him in the 1st round, obviously. It could be a coincidence, but if the Flyers take Van Sage this year, that kind of makes a trend. Next is Henry Brstevich, who plays defense for the London Knights. The Flyers probably got a lot of looks at this kid, with Bonk and Barkey being on that team. Then we've got defenseman Simon Wang, who is 6'6" and apparently really raw in his tools. There's center Cole McKinney. Then winger Riker Lee, who is highly skilled, thinks the game well, but could probably improve his skating. And then the final batch of players the Flyers met, winger Vaclav Nestrasil, who is over 6'5", but probably needs a lot of time to develop. Center William Horkoff, who is the son of former NHLer Sean Horkoff. Center Matthew Guard, who is big, goes to the hard areas, but probably profiles as a bottom 6 center. Defenseman Carter Amico, who is over 6'5", but missed most of the season with a knee injury. And then the last one on the list, goalie Elijah Neuenschwander. Based on the public rankings, you can probably wait another round or two to select this kid if they're really interested in him. So if I remember correctly, I think this is about 34 kids that the Flyers met with at the Combine, but like I mentioned at the beginning, they often operate in secret, so I'm sure there's other players they met and spoke with as well. As I mentioned for a few players during the video, we already have some watch-alongs shift by shifts up on the Broad Street Hockey YouTube channel. So if you're into those, we're going to continue doing those, so stick around. And if you are in the Philadelphia area and you would like to come to the draft party, remember it's just $5. It's going to be Friday, June 27th, and it's going to be down at the Chickies and Pete's near the stadiums. Hope to see you there, and thank you so much for watching.